It's the Lakes area's most wanted. We are cleaning up the criminals in our area and need your help. Have you seen any of these people?
Dennis Earl Brockwell. He's a white male, age 56. He's 5 feet 8 inches tall, 145 pounds with blue eyes and gray hair. He's wanted for misdemeanor 4th degree DWI. Shannon K. Casey. She's a white female, age 38. She's 5 feet 7 inches tall, 120 pounds with hazel eyes. She's wanted for gross misdemeanor, non-sufficient fund checks. Robin Kathleen Columbus, age 40. She's 5 feet 8 inches tall, 180 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. She's wanted for misdemeanor, shoplifting, and numerous traffic violations. Christina Teresa Bosch, age 21. She's 5 feet 5 inches tall, 135 pounds with blue eyes and blonde hair. She's wanted for misdemeanor, underage drinking and driving. Clyde Allen Berge Jr., age 51. He's 6 feet tall, 240 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. He's wanted for gross misdemeanor, DWI, and escape custody. Elizabeth Jane Androff, age 22. She's 5 feet 4 inches tall, 235 pounds. She's wanted for gross misdemeanor, non-sufficient fund checks. Darcy Lee Barnes, age 50. She's 5 feet 3 inches tall, 225 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. She's wanted for misdemeanor, non-sufficient fund checks. Philip Ray Clow Jr., age 27. He's 5 feet 6 inches tall, 135 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair. He's wanted for misdemeanor, driving after revocation, and other traffic violations.
The Lakes area's most wanted. We're cleaning up the streets. Remember, if you see any of these people, do not approach them. Call your local law enforcement office. And now, a word from our area law enforcement.
Hello, this is Deputy Shane Rich with the Becker County Sheriff's Office. Today we're going to be talking about some of the things associated with DWIs. One of the most common questions that I hear is, what is a DUI versus a DWI? It's really semantics is what it is. It comes down to what the terminology is between some of the different states. North Dakota has DUIs, driving under the influence, and so they abbreviate it to DUI. Wisconsin has OWIs, operating while intoxicated. Minnesota has driving while impaired. So our acronym for drunk driving is DWI. And so really it's all the same thing. It's drunk driving. It's just what each state uses their statutes to term drunk driving. Either driving under the influence, driving while impaired, or operating while intoxicated. So it's all the same thing. It's just a terminology thing between the states. Minnesota uses driving while impaired. They don't really use driving while intoxicated because the impairment is what is the problem that's on the streets. Why we're trying to curb that problem is because the people that are impaired can cause crashes, and that can be from alcohol, drugs. So they went with the term impaired because it can cover more than just alcohol. The legal limit in the state of Minnesota is a .08. It has been for a few years now. There are 4 different levels of DWI in the state of Minnesota, and those depend on a couple of different things. One of the things that we need to look at is aggravating factors. Those are things that are taken into consideration when deciding what level of charge it's going to be. There's 3 aggravating factors in the state of Minnesota. Those being, one can be a prior DWI within the past 10 years, and that's for each DWI within the past 10 years. So if you have 1 prior DWI, that's 1 aggravating factor. If you have 3 prior DWIs within 10 years, that's 3 aggravating factors. Another aggravating factor can be if the alcohol test discloses an alcohol concentration of over .20. that can be an additional aggravating factor. And also if there are children under the age of 16 in the vehicle with the offender, and those children under the age of 16 have to be greater than 36 years younger than the offender. So if there's small children in the car, that can also be an aggravating factor. Now the 4 different levels of DWI. A 4th degree is a misdemeanor. That would be where there's no aggravating factors, there's no prior DWIs, the person doesn't test over a .20. That's a misdemeanor DWI. It's the lowest level of DWI. The next level is a 3rd degree DWI, which is a gross misdemeanor. That would be 1 prior aggravating factor. So if the person tested over a .20 and they did not have any priors, or if they had 1 prior DWI and let's say their alcohol test was a .14, that would be 1 aggravating factor for the prior DWI. 2nd degree DWI would be 2 aggravating factors. So say 2 prior DWIs within the past 10 years would be 2 aggravating factors. That would bump the level up to a 2nd degree DWI. And the 1st degree DWI doesn't look at aggravating factors except for prior DWIs. So in order to get the 1st degree DWI, which is the felony, there has to be at least 3 prior DWIs within the past 10 years. That's the only way to qualify for the felony DWI. So that's kind of the breakdown of how the DWIs work and the difference between a DWI and a DUI.
Thank you for watching the Lakes Area's Most Wanted.